Good morning. As usual, I should probably tell you guys I'm going to do this, but sometimes I don't even know. I had a day off, so I do it like at least once a week at this point. Just want to keep connected because, for a while there, I was gone for how long was I gone? A year? A while there. Anyways, I want to say, Thanksgiving to everyone and all that fun stuff. And here in Japan, they don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. Um, We just moved here about 9 months ago from Osaka, and in Osaka, they just got turkey. So I was like, yes, we can finally have Thanksgiving, right? Then the whole coronavirus epidemic happened and stuff. And then my daughter, I don't know what was going on, but hey, how's it going? Thanks for watching. So the whole, you know, epidemics going on. My daughter, for some reason, before that even started, wasn't going to school, just having some kind of, like some issues and stuff. So I was like, hey, why don't we move closer to family? So the option was to move back to America to Seattle or closer. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, we just went out to eat for Thanksgiving. Hey, how's it going? So it wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't a turkey dinner with stuffing and mashed potatoes and pumpkin pie and all your friends and family, surrounding you, telling you embarrassing stories of your childhood. But it was still good. You're learning Hiragana. How do you like that? Like literally, when my wife first showed me Hiragana, like she had a board and she wrote it all down. I was just like, no, no, just do the board, because I can read hiragana, katakana. I can do romaji because that's for computer stuff, and I can read about 500 kanji. I'm not good as like Tokyo Sam, who's at this point apparently declared himself master, and I think he's fluent in Japanese at this point. So I'm not really sure, but obviously he's good enough. Yeah, you'll get it. Like hiragana, you'll use like on a daily basis. Katakana is a pain in the butt because it's like cursive. You know how you only write your name sometimes. It's like then you're like, how do I write an E in cursive? Damn it, it's been so long. So katakana is just like that because you only write your name in katakana because you're a foreigner and that's how they do it. Then later on, you're gonna be like, how do I write a W in katakana? So yeah, it takes about 2 weeks to a month to learn hiragana and katakana. Unless you're like a genius, then it'll take you like 2 hours. Uh, Probably around N3, border around N3. So I haven't actually checked, and I haven't officially taken the test. They have two tests per year, and I guess I'm just too lazy to take it. I don't know. I should take it because like some jobs they do look at that. I was looking through jobs last night. I applied to 5 different ones. There was one in particular. They're like, sorry, we can't. We're not going to hire you unless you have the certificate for N3. I was just like, okay. Which I mean, like I'm already there, so but I have no proof, right? Says my word. So yeah, I could barely read hiragana or katakana, so I couldn't speak anything. I just wandered around the streets. My wife was working, and I went to Japanese school for a bit, and that helped me learn hiragana and katakana. That they spend exactly 2 weeks to a month, depending on the school. So, if it takes you a month, don't feel bad. Even if it takes you 2 months, don't feel bad because you will forget, especially katakana. It's when you start moving in the kanji where it gets a little more difficult because they got own reading and kun reading. It's like hold it different readings, and there's a few in particular kanji like ue and shita that have like for that particular kanji. Let's say shita, they might have like 5 different readings for that kanji and going up. So it's up or down. They have many different readings for it. Also, agelu. There's like 5 or 6 different meanings for that, like rise, to be nervous, to be MP, to be finished, to be promoted, or to your salary to go up. So like it's a pain in the butt. But there are other kanjis that only have one meaning, which one or two meanings, which is much easier. And then another thing, like this was mostly supposed to be about Thanksgiving and stuff like that, but that's fine. We'll talk about Thanksgiving too. How was your Thanksgiving? Hopefully, well, traditional Thanksgiving and stuff like that. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I get a lot sad on the holidays. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every Fourth of July. Yeah, I can see it on TV. That's fine. But I've been here for like 10 years. I have gone back and forth at least 20 times, but still, like, I just miss American holidays. Like Times Square, seeing the ball drop, the countdown. As a kid, I used to like on Fourth of July. I would sit there and maybe I'm crazy, but I would actually literally count the fireworks. What do you have in Switzerland? Like, what kind of holidays do you have in Switzerland? I mean, Thanksgiving is just getting together, eating food, and just talking about what you're thankful for, right? So they actually have that in Japan. It's called Bonenkai, and it's in December. So, but they drink a lot more alcohol, and they do it at home and at work. So, to have a little more work unity. So, I don't drink, so I don't usually go to Bonenkais. So, I guess I probably could, but a lot of people smoke cigarettes, and I'm allergic, and it just gives me a headache. I'm just like, I usually just skip it. I don't want to be a jerk about it. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I don't want to ruin you guys' time. Have fun. I have fun with people at work every day normally, so it's not a big deal. So, but yeah, Bonenkai. That's their Thanksgiving. They do have like Christmas in Japan, kind of, sort of. It's just slightly different. Like they have Christmas cake. Okay, Christmas cake. Which I told one of my really good friends. He's like, I can add cake to my Christmas. I was like, me too. What are you talking about? I can add tacos to my Christmas and nacho. I can add any good food to my. So they'll have Christmas cake and they'll have Christmas KFC. So yeah, right. It's like a thing. They even have commercials. They're like, it's Christmas time. Come on down to KFC. Like if I worked at KFC during Christmas time, that's the moment I would take a vacation. It'd be like from December to like February. I'd just be like, yeah, can I just take a vacation? Or I quit because they'd be. I worked at McDonald's during Christmas time, and they ordered nuggets a million at a time. It was ridiculous. So I couldn't even imagine KFC. So definitely. But yeah, I miss Thanksgiving. I miss like being with my family, joking around and laughing and all that fun stuff. So like I'm not making this video to be all sad or nothing. I'm happy with everyone else is happy and not sick, and they had a good Thanksgiving. Many people send me messages over Facebook or whatever. In Japan, we have Line. They're like, "Happy Thanksgiving." My other friends from my art group, we're doing like a little gift exchange for Christmas and stuff like that. So, but things you don't get here in Thanksgiving is like there's no pumpkin pie. I mean, you might get close as in like a some kind of pumpkin tart type of thing, but there's no pumpkin pie here or anything like that. And I mean, there's a type of potato like yams, but there's no real yams here. So all the things you can imagine for food they would be for Thanksgiving doesn't exactly exist here. So yeah, well, some people still use What Up. What Up's still pretty popular. I never did, but more from my friends. Like, I had a buddy in Sweden and Norway, so they use What Ups. So I used it with them, but Line only for people in Japan. And then people from America, like half Facebook, other half at some point was like, what was it? Now we have Zoom, but Skype was a thing for about 10 minutes until Microsoft bought it and just killed it. And Snapchat until my friend like erased my account. And I just got tired. I was just like, yeah. But yeah, do you have any more questions about Japanese stuff here? But Japanese people, or Japanese companies in particular, they do like more official stuff. So the documentation. I would even go as far as to say they like bureaucracy. Okay, they like to make arbitrary rules for whatever reason. So you're going to be hired and be like, okay, we want to see you're in 4, 5, and 3 papers and to prove it to us for this particular company. Also, we want to see your CELT or your what is your TO TELF? I don't know what it's called. There's 2 different certifications you can get to teach English here. You probably could. It shouldn't be a big deal, man. As long as you get to a restaurant, like I said, there's like YOLO, I think YOLO.com. And yesterday I saw a few different new websites pop up that I've never seen before, and also Indeed. They're hiring through Indeed. You just gotta make sure it's the English website. So I mean, like, right? Yeah, the old word YOLO back when it was popular. But YOLO, it's okay. I got like 10 interviews out of like applying for 20 jobs. It's not too bad. I'm not sure if YOLO does people out of country. If you're out of country, I would check on gaijin.pot. So all you do is put GAI Gene, foreigner basically, JI in pot, and it'll just redirect you very quickly. And when you find a job you like, actually the front page is going to ask you, do you want an apartment, do you want to study, do you want to blah blah blah, or do you want to search for jobs? Click search for jobs, and from there type in over, just click overseas jobs, and then more than likely you're going to be redirected to ALT jobs at first, or you can just go to the website Interact if you want to be an ALT. I'm not gonna lie to you, the first year might suck because they're gonna put you in the middle of nowhere. But after the first year, you'll get a little more leeway, and then from there, you might be able to be sent to a location closer to your girlfriend in Tokyo, like in the Kanto area. So, or if you're really lucky, you might get set up close to your girlfriend from the start. So it really just depends on you. But just keep in mind that like you gotta have savings. if you gotta, you can't not have savings and stuff, you know. So yeah, definitely. Dude, last year I worked at this. I worked at school. It was an international school called BK Kids. Okay, and the teacher I was under, she's a head teacher. She was from Africa, right? You speak German. Guten Tag, Guten Morgen. Okay, but she was from Africa, from Kenya. I mean, she actually did speak as well as I do, but still, there was other teachers though from the Philippines, and they had really strong accents, like really strong accents. So, I mean, I don't know. If you can just like talk clear enough, I think you're good. Honestly, in some schools they don't care as much. Okay, yeah, I, I've seen dudes from India with incredibly strong accents as ALTs, right? Where the whole class is like looking around, like, what is he saying? He's like, I don't know, I can't even do his accent, but it's amazing. So if you're worried about your accent, I wouldn't worry too much. Okay, because I'm pretty sure the dude from India was probably the worst ALT ever. You guys don't understand me. I'm not trying to be like mean, because like for example, I have a friend from India. He speaks super clear as I do. And I have an ex girlfriend from India, and she's a little princess, and her daddy's rich. He's like he's like super rich, but and she spoke perfectly clear. But not everyone has that luxury or that money, so. But I wouldn't worry too much. Whatever. If you have a slight accent, don't worry. And yes, you can probably get a dishwashing job. That's what I'm doing right now. But keep in mind that you have to work in your Japanese then, So So you gotta think about what you want, and if you do get that dishwashing job, you're not gonna make so much money. Especially if you start out over in Tokyo, and the cost of living in Tokyo is it's fairly high, right? So I highly recommend getting an English job so you can actually pay your rent. You don't want to be like doing a dishwashing job and being homeless. Okay then. Yeah, get that dishwashing job, man. Get that under your belt, and as you do it, if you can do it, have your girl teach you Japanese, study on your own, and when you're at work, they're gonna teach you Japanese as well. Like every single day, they teach me new phrases at my job. 9 months ago, I completely sucked. Now I'm good. Oh, getting married, it's not too hard. Oh my gosh, that's like a whole nother talk, but it's fine. Japanese weddings, depending on the people, could be considered good or bad. Like for example, like I got married in America at first, right? With my family, but then my wife, he was just like, "We got to go back to Japan, and we got to get married there too." I was kind of like, "What? Two weddings?" Yeah. So if you have a good learning program, and if you're really good at learning or academically learning Japanese, you should have no problem. Japanese weddings can cost a lot of money. It really depends on your girl. Um, for example, me marrying my wifey, the wedding cost $27,000. My first reaction is, of course, I want to make her happy and all that fun stuff. But I was just like, can we just like do $15,000 and use the rest for maybe a down payment for a house or a car or save it? You know what I mean? But some people's ideas are really out there. So 20,000, $27,000 in Japan is not that big of money apparently, because Japan has like a really big middle class compared to most countries across the world. So, and one of the traditional things is the guests will come and they'll bring money. And the money will be like 200, 300, $100 to help kind of sort of pay back the money that you put forth to have this huge party for them. So it kind of works out in the end. But for me, I still believe that we should have spent like 20,000 and put the rest on a down payment on a house. That's a good thing. Then you can save some money. You know what I mean? Why pay? It's because like I don't know how to explain it. In Japan, there's like official channels for everything. I'll give you a very small exact example. Say you have a car, okay? In your country, you drive on what the left side of the road. So when you come here, it's going to be probably be an easy transition. So you're gonna get gas. They have self-service stations. And they have service stations, like literally 90 per oh, the right side. Okay, well, either way, when you get gas, 90% of the people here in Japan, they get the self-service. So they actually literally pay $10 more just for some dude to go like this, back up, back up, back up, squeegee your window. How are you today? Like for service, they pay for that extra service. Where for me, it's just like, get out of my way. I'll do my own windows. I'll do my own gas, and I'll save that $10, right? And over time, that $10 will, I can buy myself a new, Xbox 5 or something, or just save it, or for my kids or grand. I don't know. I just don't need their extra service, and that's just gas, right? So there's certain things you just can't. There's no self service for in Japan. I'm not exactly sure about plumbing, but I wouldn't be surprised if people don't do plumbing by themselves. They just call someone, and they do have like fixer up shops or shops where you can go grab pipes and plumbing and stuff like that. But I think it's more for professionals. So if you're not a professional and you're gonna rewire or re-plumb your house, it's probably not gonna go too well here. So yeah, when people go on vacation, they go to like one of those shops where they help you with your vacation. You have to make everything yourself. Here, there is factories here and which make stuff. It's just it like I don't know. I feel like everything's just very service oriented. Like when people want to go to like Hawaii, they go to to an agency and they'll look at packages and like, oh, this package is $3,000. But if you pay, an extra $3,000, you can get the luxury cruise with it. Plus, you can get that one, theater ticket for the night of Saturday, like that. Where me, I'm like, look, I'm gonna buy the plane ticket. I will do the hotel myself. I will set up. I will set it all up by myself, and I will save $5,000. And with that $5,000, I'll use it for the vacation for the next year. That's me. But Japanese people don't do that. They go through the vacation agency because it's like safer or something. I don't know. Maybe, but at the same time, I'm American, right? So I'm going back to my own country. So of course I'm not fearful. They are going to a different country, so they might be slightly fearful, which I understand completely. So definitely, I don't know. Then people in the countryside, like, I wanted to talk about countryside versus the city side because the countryside is you don't make that much money. Like a nurse in the city side might make between $40,000 and $60,000, which is still actually fairly low compared to America. Because a lot of nurses, for example, in Seattle, starting off can easily start from $70,000 to $90,000. So you're in like Osaka, like one of the second biggest cities in Japan, and you're only making like 40, $50,000. And that's a pretty high salary for them, right? In the countryside, that salary is like way lower. It's like cut in half, maybe even lower than that. So a lot of people I feel like in the countryside probably don't want to be nurses. So I'm washing dishes, yeah, but I'm only making 950, right? Which is a tremendous drop in salary compared to making before I was making $20 an hour, $25 an hour teaching English, and yeah, that's all I was doing. That was for teaching English as an assistant at an international school. Then on the weekends, I was working at a karaoke shop, cleaning, making $11 an hour for only like 3 hours. And then after that, I was working at McDonald's, making like $10 an hour. So now I'm here working 30 hours a week, only making 950. So it's a huge drop in salary. We're talking, yeah, I don't know. I was making like over 3,000. Now I'm making like 1,000. So, from my perspective as a foreigner, the big city's better. I often wonder like how Japanese themselves, honestly, and I said this before, how do they survive? I'm guessing they must live with their mom and dads. That's all I can think. Or they're rich. These are the only two things I can imagine. Yeah, yeah. If she's from Tokyo and her family lives in Tokyo, that means more than likely her family probably is well off, or at least well off enough to live in Tokyo. To buy a house in Tokyo, you have to make pretty decent money or come from old money. There's a lot of people that have like crap loads of land because like maybe back in the day their great grandfather was like one of the shoguns or like the lower level kings of that particular area, and it just got passed on generation to generation to generation. And they just have like this huge castle house and like so much land, it's ridiculous. So definitely. Anyways, job wise, I've recently decided to look for a different job. Oh, cool. I'll see you next time, definitely. So good talking. So I've decided to look for another job. That's good. I got to gozaimasu. You guys want to try to? We can try to speak Japanese. I don't know if we can do it. Like this is morning maybe for you. For me, it's nighttime. I can't sleep, so I'm like, hey, I might as well talk to friends. So Ohio gozaimasu in the morning, Ohio gozaimasu. If it was afternoon, konnichiwa, which everyone pretty much knows. If it was nighttime, konbanwa, which I completely forget all the time. So I'll be coming home, I'll be like tired, and I'll go to the convenience store, and I'll be like, konnichiwa, I mean, konbanwa, but they'll laugh it off, and it's kind of funny. So, do you guys speak Japanese at all? Are you guys practicing Japanese? Like I practice every day. It's actually kind of hard. Um, I'm doing it alone, so I don't have a partner. I bought this little thing. This was $300 or Sanmanen. It's a little translator. It tells me what I want to know. So for example, I'm like, how do I say this? Like, how much does this cost? How much does this cost? And it'll tell me how to say it. So yeah, I think practicing through people is definitely better than practicing through machines or anything else. Busy, yeah. If you're busy with school, school is way more important. It really depends on your goal and all that stuff, you know. If you're just coming to Japan just like for a vacation, then I wouldn't worry too much about it, really, honestly. Like I had a buddy, he came to Japan for about 6 months. This was a 6 months vacation. So he finished high school and he always wanted to go to Japan. So he saved up and he went to Japan and he partied hard and of course the money ran out. He told his parents, he's like, money's out, and his parents got him a ticket home. And then me and him were in college. He told me his little experience. I was like, why don't you go back? He's just like, it's cost too much. I was like, you should do it. In the end, we just end up going to college, and he never really did. Music? What kind of music? Like, what kind? Hey, I know the feeling of being broke. It sucks, I don't like feeling, I don't feel like hopeless, but being broke just sucks in general, right? I mean, and the most amazing thing to me, when people are truly broke, they won't admit it. At least the people I've come in contact with. Like when I was in college, right? We were in a history class, and the teacher, I honestly don't know what a teacher would even ask. Alternative rock, nice. If you can like create something like it doesn't even have to be new, just good. I feel like you'd hit it, because there hasn't been anything like so like really good, even in rap or anything I've heard recently. You just have these big errors of like 10 years of great music, and it's just nothing. Then some random guy comes out with something, and he's like huge, even though maybe you're scratching your head like, what is this garbage? Like mumble rap. What is mumble rap? You know. So yeah, there's tons of like alternate music I liked back in the days and stuff, and then there was like nothing for a while. So yeah, but being broke is definitely a real thing. When I was in class, the teacher was like, "Who here is rich?" like that, and then like two people raised their hands. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, yeah, like pursuing your future can definitely make you broke, but at the same time, if you make it, then hey, it was well worth it, right? And that's the hardest thing, though. So just gotta keep on believing. The hope leads to belief, right? So if you hope, and then you'll believe, and then you'll do. So it's always action first, though. People get confused. They always think it's hope first and then action. It's actually action first and then hope. Sometimes you don't know what you want to do with the lights going off. That's creeping me out. But anyways, the teacher was like, "Who's rich?" Two people like raise their hand, and then the teacher was like, "I'm not talking about your parents are rich." And then like one person put their hand down. Then she's just like, "Who's middle class?" Then literally almost every single person in class put their hand up. You know, yeah, guys, it's like almost in a year. It's gonna be 2021, and I really hope 2021 is better than 2020. So cross your fingers, cross both your fingers, maybe cross your toes, cross your legs, just cross everything, even your eyes. But America is just gonna be in recovery at this point, so that's all there is to it. Even if there was a smooth transition between Trump and Joe, the problems are still there. So that's all there is to it. My friends were like, we should just skip 2020 or we should just do it over. Like, we'll just, like, we won't count it and no birthdays counts either. And we'll just act like it never happened and we'll just do a new 2020. Or something like that. I was just like, yeah, I totally agree with that because 2020 was, like you said, interesting. Interesting in not necessarily a good way, more in a way like, what the hell? 13 months later, basically. So, 2020 overtime. Well, sorry. I'm trying to avoid politics, because I don't know. Politics makes everything polarized. People get all like offended. Like if I say Trump is terrible, if I say Joe is terrible, then we suddenly everyone's fighting. Recently, at least I watch YouTube to catch up on news. Then I haven't seen much from Trump or anything. Joe himself, he doesn't talk very much. He talked maybe about the coronavirus last week, but Trump usually is tweeting and talking constantly. But no, I haven't heard crap from him. YouTube is giving me crap from 3 years ago, like Obama's first speech, how he shut down a reporter, like you were in my house. I'm like, that's from like three, four, five, six. No wait, I was like 10 years ago or some shit. I was like, holy crap! I was like, there's no real news going on right now, because before it was constantly right. It was like, oh Georgia, they're recounting. Oh my gosh, Michigan, they're recounting. You know what YouTube? I'm not gonna say they suck, but their change to be the next television has kind of officially it's not like a personal private thing anymore. I'm on YouTube, yes, and maybe I'm guessing right now currently 3 people are watching. So if this is a channel, this would be one of the super unpopular channels. If it was run by a network, I'd have been canceled already. Because I don't have enough followers or people watching me. But yeah, YouTube's not really personal anymore. People still blame what's his name? Not Paul, but Logan Paul, for the whole going to Japan thing. I don't know. I feel like that was completely staged. Before that time, they're already tweaking, playing with the YouTube algorithm. Their goal was to eliminate half of the people competing on YouTube because they were in the red. They're paying out $500 million and they're making no money back. Currently, YouTube is making 100 what was it, 1,500 million, and they're now in the red because they cut off most of the YouTubers and they kept all the famous ones and they invited all the networks. So it's becoming basically the new TV. Like I said, where I get my news is from. Hold on, let's see. I see your guys' messages. I get my news from YouTube. It doesn't show my messages too. You know. All right, there we go. Okay, okay, I can see your messages. Hopefully they don't go away. But yeah, so my other alternative is to have like Hulu or something, and then add news channels for extra money, which I don't mind doing. But it's gonna give me like BBC News, which is not American news necessarily. They do cover America sometimes, just not as much as like CNN and the other stations. So when I start talking about news, it just brings me back to the whole Trump ordeal because like the only news channel that actually favored him was Fox News, and then in the last few months he told them to f off. And now it's like literally the only channel that was promoting him and is on his team. Recently, no. I didn't watch. I heard about it actually. Like the new prime minister, he was giving like a speech at the, I don't know what they call it. I think they called it diet or whatever. He was giving like a speech. He started, and then he suddenly was quiet. He closed his eyes like he's gonna meditate or pass out or something. Everyone's kind of like, what's going on? And then he took a step back. He turned to one of the secretaries. It's a guy that helps him, and he like whispers something into his ear. Then he comes back to the podium. Then he does it again. Goes to the guy. Then two guys run to the podium, and there was a bug, like a stink bug, on the podium. The kind of that really goes, and they're trying to like kill it. Meanwhile, everyone has no idea what's going on, right? So they think the new prime minister is dying or gonna pass out or something's going on because he just goes quiet, closes his eyes, like that's what I heard about, and that happened like a few days ago. Other than that, politics in Japan, I don't watch Japanese TV too much. I don't have time to. I used to watch it like 5 years back, like every single day. But again, it's hard to understand everything they're saying and stuff. I heard some bad things about Shinzo Abe. So some people like him, some people don't. They were talking about like how he did some political stuff. Basically, he did a favor for one of his friends and got him some land for cheaper. And where in the U.S., I'm pretty sure they do 10 times worse. So for me, I was like, not that big a deal, right? So I would be more concerned about the fact that like I think it was 13 years ago over in Fukushima where the reactor exploded and it was dumping like gallons and gallons of toxic waste into the ocean. Oh, you speak Spanish? Spanish is hard. My buddy was teaching me Spanish, but my buddy's kind of a dick about it. So he's like se perlo like that because I can't roll my R's. And then I say it. He's like, no, you suck. Say pero. I was just like, all right. I say it, and he's like, you still suck. He's like, maybe you should think about German. But he always gives me shit because like back in the day, like I used to give him shit all the time because I was the bigger kid, right? But he's a shit talker. But anyways, back to Fukushima. Um, France has like France is number one with radioactive power in the world. Behind that is Japan. Fukushima had a reactor that it melted down basically, and it was dumping tons of toxic waste into the ocean. Learning any language does. Often I wonder if it's even worth it. I promise you, 10 years from now, it might not even matter. With the technology getting better and better, you just put an earpiece, like an earpiece in your ear. I put one in my ear. Push a magic button. I talk. You talk. You hear what we hear the same language. So what's the point of even learning Japanese or Spanish? Beyond self achievement, because that will come to pass. Just like they're making new Apple glasses, and they're probably gonna make new Google glasses as well. But anyways, so back to politics for 5 seconds. So all the nuclear reactors around Japan, they're supposed to be reinforced so they won't, melt down again. They were supposed to be reinforced even like 20 years ago. They didn't do it. And even after the huge earthquake and tsunami that killed like so many people, 13,000 people, they didn't reinforce crap. Nothing's reinforced. All these like some were turned off, but still, yeah. It's very difficult because the wifey here and my daughter like so my wife's not watching something, then my daughter's watching something. So at this point, I'm just like, should I just buy myself a TV because they don't really let me use TV. I want to, but I find myself watching anime a lot, and anime words do not help very much. Not really. unless I want to be called a pervert or something, you know. So yeah, I'm very interested in what's it called, Seizai politics, even in Japan, because Japanese politics are interesting because they don't change very much. Unlike American politics, where they can change at a drop of a dime. The last time they had a party switch in Japan was back in 1970. That was the last time, and before that was hundreds and hundred years before that. So, and currently they have like these mini parties trying to come up and try to switch things around, but it's not going to happen because Japan doesn't change much. That's just all there is to it. I just saw. I didn't watch the video. I saw this other guy's video. He was talking about kids in Japan, and this video is gonna be random. So feel free to talk or leave if you don't want to, talk about whatever, or if you're not interested in what I'm talking about currently. I just say whatever's in my mind. But I'm gonna watch this video later. But he was talking about how kids are being raised in Japan because me and the wife, we always have this kind of conversation as to would America be better or Japan be better, blah blah blah, and we have different arguments for what's better and what's not. Like for me, I feel that they're just trying to make everyone into circles. That's all they are. They're trying to hammer you into a circle here. So if you're a square, you're a star, you're beautiful, you're shiny, you're something different. They're trying to make you into a circle in Japan. In America, it's kind of the same, but it's not as aggressive. Like you literally get kicked out of society if you're different. The government here is really conservative. Like like I said, they're a bureaucrat. I can't say it. Bureaucrat. I took sleeping pills, guys. Give me credit for attempting to try, but they like to make rules, arbitrary rules that benefit the rich and people with power. So the government here is highly conservative. They're like the government in the U.S. back in 1950. That's where they are now currently, and I feel like it will stay there relatively until the younger generation comes up and actually changes the rules around. I'm currently they just had a governor who's in her 30s come about, so it's gonna be changing very quick soon in the next 10 years. So yeah, so female governor that's around 32 years old just emerged, or was it a mayor or something? Either way, it's like a huge thing in history for Japan, and it marks a big change. So if we get more females in office and more young people in office, then Japan will change quite a bit. So you're going to see that a lot. You're going to see quite a bit of change, regardless if Japanese people like it or not. Like I'm not saying this to be negative. It's just that like I said in the last video, Japanese people are not replacing the baby boomer generation, right? People are like, yeah, I'm going to war. We should probably totally make out. And the girl's like, yeah, let's do that. And then on top of being high and drunk, probably. That's why they say baby boomers, because like every other person was pregnant because they thought everyone was going to die. So they just got down, right? Well, there's no war currently, and Japanese are not replacing the kids that they're losing, or not the kids, but the older people that are dying off are not being replaced. So, oh my gosh, the Japanese salaryman stereotype, I've come to an end. I feel like it's forever. I feel like to some degree it's pure comedy in some ways. It will change and evolve, but it's forever. A Japanese salaryman literally is a Japanese guy who once was a samurai is now a salaryman. Not much difference in between, or you can even say the samurai has turned the cops, whatever you want to say. But Japanese salaryman, I like if you read I think it's called crimenews.com. you, you just see some crazy stuff about Japanese salaryman. Like this was like 4 years back. This dude just like totally lost it. He was on the train. He just maybe got tired of life. I don't know what happened, what clicked in his mind, but he just decided to start running through the people and stripping his clothes off. So he's just taking his tie off, just running, just flipping out. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" Japanese people are not confrontational, so they're probably gonna step back. Some people, especially younger people, they're gonna like pull out the cameras and be like, "This guy, it's about to get interesting," but no one's gonna stop this dude. So he started stripping. He took his shirt off, coat off. And they started chasing him around. So, oh my gosh! But like, yeah, here is some places is very old school. I've heard stories where like girls still, as a secretary, say they're your secretary, and you have to hire a guy boss. Some places the guy still slaps her in the ass. Like back in the day in America when it was super sexist. Some places. I'm not saying everywhere. Things are changing. They just don't change as fast as America. America's like this. We are now in 6G, and you're just like, what the fuck just happened? We didn't even complete 5G yet, right? So I mean, like for example, the phone, right? They went from what iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, 7, 8. They didn't even have a 9. They just skipped on the 10. Then later they changed it to X, and then they had XR, X, some other X, and then from there now we're on 12 because there's no 11. Maybe X was 10 and 11. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if Apple can count. I don't think so though. And I'm wondering if they're going to skip 13 because 13 is a bad number. I just got the iPhone 13. You hit by a car. But anyways, yeah. Shoot. Yeah, they're about 20 years behind on a social level. Um, there's a dude here. Oh, okay, cool. Good talking to you, man. I was just gonna say there's a dude here working for Microsoft who just got in trouble for beating the crap out of his wife. So I don't think he's gonna be working at Microsoft very long. Anyways, yeah. So we got way far off from Thanksgiving. Yeah. So my Thanksgiving was just going to a restaurant. We actually did it last week. Um, it was fine. No problem. Whatever. Okay. We just had like chicken. I guess we're gonna have chicken for everything. Chicken for Thanksgiving, chicken for Christmas. Just chicken. That's about it, man. Anyways, getting late. I gotta get up tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. I will probably start trying to make videos. I do have videos I need to put together. I just been kind of busy and or lazy. So, for example, I have Emily's birthday video I got to put together, and yeah, this particular CD is, in my opinion, maybe it's just me. I find it not very interesting. It's not like Osaka where I can just go to America Mula or Nala and go play with the sheep. There or Kyoto where they have a monkey farm, like a monkey temple. I think that'd be freaking awesome. They don't have crap like that. All they have is I mean, I can go to mountains. They have monkeys, but these monkeys might murder and rape me. So that too would be entertaining for you, just not for me. So yeah, in the countryside, it's a little more boring, but I will try to find something exciting, hopefully. But I'll let you go because I gotta go to bed. And thanks for paying attention and watching. I'll see you guys later. And sorry for going so far off topic, but I guess at this point you already know that's kind of what I do, especially at what is it, 4 in the morning. I'm gonna go off topic. All right, peace.